When my parents, David and Kate, started dkengineering in 1977, the focus was immediately on 50 sports racing Ferraris and the restoration of those cars. This particular car, a 340 America, is a car that I helped a client find over a 10-year period. He was really specific about his requirements. He wanted something that was an open V12 Barchetta from the 1950s with significant race history, ideally Le Mans or the Mille Miglia. And it had to be a project that he could be involved with the total restoration of, so that eventually and ultimately we could take the car to exhibition events, concours events, and then finally take it on the road and do some tours and rallies and even races. This car came up having been in an ownership of over 40 years and having been a long drawn out restoration that was never completed. That meant that it remained in incredibly original condition and was a car that we would say hasn't been got at. It gave us the perfect opportunity to do a total restoration. And one of our first restorations at DK was a 340 Mille Miglia with a big Lampredi V12, just like this 340 America. This video is all about that adventure, the restoration. Alistair will take you through the details of the car, and then ultimately we'll take you through our adventure in America when we showed the car at Pebble Beach and won some awards. So it's Thursday morning of Car Week, and this is the official start of the Pebble Beach Concours. It's a tour that takes place from here to Big Sur and back again. It's about 25 miles each way, and all the cars taking part have to be in the tour itself. And here we have our 340 America. This is a car that we've totally restored over the last 2 years. We haven't talked about it at all in our social media or our newsletters because we wanted the car to be absolutely fresh for Pebble Beach so that people could see it for the first time here. And it's presented as it raced at Le Mans, in period, in red. It's not been seen at all in the public eye, apart from being sold at auction a few years ago as a restoration project, as a complete car for 70 years. So this is the first time the car's driven on the road in 70 years, and we're thrilled to present it for our client. It's also a real family affair because our client is here with his 3 sons and his grandson, his wife and his dog. So the whole family are here to enjoy the event. This is just what all these old cars were about. And for me, this is almost the end of a 10-year journey because I've helped this client source and find a car for events like this. He wanted an open V12 Barchetta. It took us a long time to find the right car, but when this one came up at auction, it was perfect for the restoration. It's perfect for the events he wants to do. Obviously, Pebble Beach being the first one. And I'm thrilled that they're enjoying the car so much already and that everyone that's here and that's seen it has enjoyed it so much. So let's see how the tour goes. I'm looking forward to showing the car on Sunday. Cool. So here we are for the grand finale of Monterey Car Week, and it's the Pebble Beach Concours. This is the blue ribbon event of the whole weekend. It's the best concours in the world. It's the one that everyone ultimately wants to be an entrant in with a car at some point during their motoring life. And it's great to have our clients here with their 340 America, the car we've restored over the last 2 years. It was a very early start. We've got to be here for dawn, especially if we want to get to see some of the cars without too many people around. It's only 8:30 and the lawn is already rammed. We've been here since 5:30. But judging starts very soon. Our client's here with his whole family. We're looking forward to see what they think of the car.
Final Elegance Award is the Jules Human Most Elegant Open Car. And this year it goes to the 1951 Ferrari 340 American Touring Bartender.
So that's it. Sunday night, end of the Pebble Beach Concours, and it's all over. It's been a manic car week for us, but most importantly, our 340 America took home the award for Most Elegant Open Car. We've had an amazing week catching up with all our clients. Lots of cars sold from our side, lots of events been to. We've had a really good time, but most importantly, we've actually had some great ideas for next year, and we can't wait to share them with you. We can't wait to come back. Really sorry that we're going home tomorrow. And thanks everyone for coming to see us in Pebble. And for those that couldn't make it, please come with us next year. So yes, the latest restoration project from DK Engineering, chassis 0120A, 1951 Ferrari 340 America Touring Barchetta, returned to, as you see it today, 1951 Le Mans start line specification. So this car was delivered new to a chap called Eddie Hall, who had a penchant for endurance racing, and he thought in 1951, after seeing Ferrari win the Mille Miglia in April, I'm going to get on the blower to the factory, have them finish a car that was already in build for me in time for Le Mans in June. A quick touch on Eddie Hall. The year before, in 1950, in a Bentley that was already 16 years old, he completed Le Mans solo, finished 8th overall. And what I'm going to do today is just take you through the car, because there are a number of unique features on this car and a number of elements of this car that Eddie Hall would have added himself that are unique to this car from factory. So we'll start at the front, we'll work our way back, and I'll show you around chassis 0120A. Firstly, of course, is the colour. Now, the colour of the car changed notably 3 times throughout its life. It started in red, and then it went to Ireland. It was the first Ferrari to race in Ireland, where it was painted green. It's been to Daytona Speed Week in America in the early 50s. It was then painted blue. Now, there weren't many colour photos in general from the early 50s, let alone any of a particular Ferrari at Le Mans. So the car was originally thought to have been green at Le Mans, and we have been able to prove otherwise. An incredibly exciting discovery is this single colour frame. That single colour frame was found by the descendant of a gentleman working at Le Mans in 1951 as a photographer. And after this car retired from Le Mans, he found it in the pits and shot a photo of it with his wife stood behind. And we've managed to uncover and acquire that single colour slide, thus proving the car to have been red. Another piece of information, history that we've been able to acquire is this leather sample that has helped us decide what shade of red to go for. So that's the colour of the car. And now we'll move to the front of the car. And first and foremost, I'll start with the headlight spacing. There is a single spacer on the headlight, which Eddie would have added in himself. Now, just a side note, this car, as per its original build sheet from Ferrari, which we do have, is running on 550/16 front tyres, 616 rear tyres, with a spare 616 in the boot as well. Now, back in these days, when the underside of the wheel arches wasn't lined, the headlight bowl was fairly prominent, and on a surface that was a bit rough, the tyre could have connected with the inside of the headlight bowl and
blown out the headlight, and we wouldn't have wanted that, especially at Le Mans. And just this single little spacer ensures that firstly, the 550s as per fitted by the factory didn't hit the back of the headlight bowl, and if needs be, if the only spare tyre we've got was the 600 and we're at Le Mans and we need to change, he could have ensured that the headlight was out far enough as well. Also, these two marker lights here, and what they would have done is they light up red and they pair against the warm light of the spots and the headlights, so that in the pits, you're standing in the pits and you're waiting for the car to come towards you, and you'll be able to pick out which car is the one you're supposed to be looking after. Moving a bit further down, we'll touch on the roundels, all of which have been hand painted as they would have been at Le Mans. And something we've tried to do is replicate the slight inconsistencies that would have happened as a result of them being hand painted. Also, these roundels here, the Rudge Whitworth Cup, it was qualified for by drivers that had competed the year before, again, hand painted onto the car. If we move to the interior, we have deep blue Connolly leather on the seats, the rear trim, and the leather strap door handles as well. All of that has been aided by photographs of sister chassis. This is chassis 0120A, and we've got period photos of chassis 0118A and 0116A, and that's helped us achieve that finish. The dashboard was changed once again with the dials. The car arrived in American specification, so they have been changed back over to European specification as it would have been from factory. And to cover the interior, we have a lovely beige tonneau as well to go with the car. Moving on then to the back of the car. Arguably, in my opinion, 0120A's most interesting and most intriguing feature is this backlit roundel. Angled towards the pit lane, as it had been driving down the pit straight at Le Mans at night, this would have angled towards the pits, and as it had gone past, if you're timing, it would have really, really helped. And again, this is a white light, a warm light that contrasts against the red of the brake lights and the rear lights as well. And to access that light, we have to go through here. So if I open the boot, we can see that spare 600 by 16 Pirelli strapped down as it would have been. And we can also see the wiring mechanism, which is two period correct Marshall lights that backlight that roundel. Whilst we're in the boot, let's talk about two other features on this car. One, this chassis 012A was the first 340 America to have exhaust cutouts. And what they do is quite nicely hide the tailpipes. Something else that would have been Le Mans regulation are the locking fuel filler caps and fluid caps in the engine bay as well, which we will point out. It was regulation at Le Mans that you could not, by any means, replenish any liquid chambers on a car without coming into the pits. So the ACO, the Automobile Club de l'Ouest, would have enforced that law by sealing everything off with little locking wires and lead tabs that would have been stamped. And we have managed to find an exact 1951 spec lead stamp, period correct tool, and we have reproduced those little lead catches. So now we're back up at the front end of the car, under the bonnet, which in itself is a very important highlight on this car, as 0120A is the only Barchetta 340 America to have a rear hinged bonnet, something of which was commonly found on the coupes, but this is the only open top car with a rear hinge bonnet. And under here, the 4.1 litre triple Weber V12. And as we can see, all of the fluid replenishment chambers are locked up with those lead seals and that locking wire as per ACO regulation. The grey radiator and grey grille were painted as per period imagery. Some lovely photos of this car at Le Mans from the front end where we can see the grey radiator and grey grille as it contrasts against the black of this period correct Modena number plate and certain elements on the car, such as the front marker lights as well. So that is under the bonnet, and we close that by just releasing the stay, dropping it into place, a firm push, and then we do it up with these leather straps here. So like I say, the only 340 open top barchetta to have a rear hinge bonnet. And finally, the badge, Ferrari badge, of course it has been restored, but the original Ferrari Cavallino Rampante on that badge, which is a very nice feature indeed. So there we go, a quick walk around the latest restoration project, the 1951 Ferrari 340 Touring Barchetta ex Eddie Hall, back to exacting 1951 Le Mans start line specification.